Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina and Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut calling for the Senate to vote on classifying Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. At a press conference today, Blumenthal called out Russian drones in Polish airspace earlier this week.
I call on the majority leader to give us a vote on the sanctions bill after this incursion in Poland. The time is now to show strength.
Hundreds of South Koreans detained in a Georgia immigration sweep last week are now heading back home.
The flight carrying the workers left Atlanta just before noon. The departure follows a week-long diplomatic back and forth after the workers were detained during an immigration raid at a Hyundai manufacturing facility near Savannah. Immigration attorney Charles Cook represents 10 of the Korean nationals.
At the end of the day, ICE can find no reason to actually charge them with any immigration violation.
Because of this, the workers could return immediately, but Cook blames ICE for mishandling the situation. A spokesperson for the agency declined to comment. Jonathan O'Brien, ABC News, Atlanta.
A Brazilian Supreme Court panel today sentenced former President Jair Bolsonaro to more than 27 years in prison for an attempted coup after losing his 2022 re-election bid. A majority of justices voted to find Bolsonaro guilty on 5 counts. The 70-year-old's attorneys have said they will appeal the conviction to the full Supreme Court. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Terry's Tiny Homes, Terry! Sure, as the only employee of her company, Terry was probably the front runner, but saving money getting personalized discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive, well, that gave Terry the edge. Over Terry.
Terry, Terry.
Keep awkwardly
Terry,
chanting your own name, Terry. You deserve it.
Woo!
Be your own Terry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
News Talk 610 AM and 102.1 FM. KVNU.
It's 5:05 now, and I'm Will Feelwright, continuing our coverage this afternoon as law enforcement issuing an update just a few hours ago saying they are continuing to search for the sniper who assassinated conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University yesterday. Meanwhile, at a press conference that was held earlier today at the university, FBI Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles said that authorities had found a weapon that is believed to have been the rifle used in the shooting.
We have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle.
Now, that rifle was found in a wooded area just outside of campus, and authorities have been combing through that area. They say they have also found a shoe impression print and also a palm print and forearm imprints that they are now analyzing in addition to the rifle. Now, the FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for any information leading to the identification and the arrest of the person responsible. Now, meanwhile, screenshots of the potential shooter were released to the public, taken from campus security footage just before the shooting occurred at around 12:20 yesterday. Now, the man is seen wearing a black T-shirt, ball cap, and sunglasses. The FBI is encouraging anyone who recognizes the individual to call their tip line. In other news this afternoon, the Transportation Security Administration is making it easier for families to fly out of Salt Lake City International Airport. Now, the airport is one of 11 nationwide to receive a new Families on the Fly security lane. It's designed for passengers with children 12 and younger. Now, the new lane will aim to minimize the stress of traveling with young children by providing a dedicated space where families can stay together throughout the screening process. Now, Dan Velez, a Utah TSA spokesperson, said that the new lane allows families to take time getting through security without feeling like they're inconveniencing other passengers. He also added that the TSA officers will be available to help families divest their items. And finally, a Colorado woman has been charged in Utah with stealing money through a jury scam. Lexi Navarrete Johnson, a 20-year-old of Greeley, Colorado, was charged with communications fraud, theft by deception, and impersonating a police officer. Now, the charges allege that back in June, a Salt Lake County woman received a call from someone who claimed to be a sheriff's deputy. Now, the caller told the woman that she had missed jury duty and owed a fine of $2,200. Now, the victim was threatened with arrest if she did not pay the fine. According to charging documents, the woman transferred a total of almost $1,800 to an Apple Pay account that was provided by the caller. Now, Utah police have issued warnings about jury scams over the last several years, advising residents that law enforcement and courts will never call anyone and ask for money over the phone. Well, we've had partly cloudy skies today, and tonight, the clouds will continue overnight as temperatures are going to drop into the low 50s. Tomorrow, we'll still see this small chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms with a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures going to be back up into the high 70s, and it looks like that forecast just going to kind of repeat itself as we head through the weekend. And don't forget, Saturday is the Cache Valley Latino Festival on Center Street in downtown Logan, offering live music, traditional dancing, and, of course, that beautiful festive parade. It's the Latino Festival on Saturday on Center Street. Don't miss it. And I'm Will Feelright with your KVNU News headlines.
Hey there, quick question. Wouldn't it be nice if your home stayed cool in the summer and warm in the winter without your HVAC working overtime? With Cardinal Spray Foam insulation, it can. They use an insulation that seals the gaps you didn't know you had, keeping air in, comfort up, and energy bills down. I guarantee you'll feel the difference. Plus, you could qualify for a $1,200 tax credit. Call 755-5012 or look them up online. Cardinal's Insulation, 755-5012.
News Talk KVNU, 610 AM and 102.1 FM.
This is Cache County Fire District Chief Brady George. Due to increasingly dry conditions and high wildfire danger, Stage 1 fire restrictions are now in effect. These restrictions apply to all unincorporated private and state lands in Cache County. These restrictions include no open fires of any kind except within established facilities or in improved campgrounds or day-use areas on public lands. No smoking except within an enclosed vehicle, trailer, or building, a developed recreation site, or while stopped in an area that is paved or free from dry vegetation. No cutting, welding, or grinding metal in areas of dry vegetation. No operating a motorcycle, chainsaw, ATV, or other small internal combustion engine without an approved and working spark arrestor. No discharging or using fireworks, tracer ammunition, or other pyrotechnic devices, including exploding targets. Any of these acts is a violation of Utah state law and is punishable by up to 6 months in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Cache County Fire District urges all residents and visitors to use caution during outdoor activities. Preventing wildfires and protecting the beauty of Cache County is a shared responsibility.
A new era has begun in Logan, Utah.
My team is tough, they're resilient, they've embraced the expectations, and again, the cultural part to me is first.
Head coach Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies look to make some noise in the Mountain West.
Touchdown, Utah State!
Join us Saturday. Utah State hosts Air Force.
KVNU's Game Day pregame show begins at 5:45 with kickoff at 7:45 and postgame and Aggie call immediately after on News Talk KVNU, the heritage home of the Aggies.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People, hour 2 of today's show. Coming up, we did it. We'll get to our final interview with Cache County Executive candidate Mark Hurd joining us. We got to all 7 this week. I can't believe it. Special election plays out tonight. Charlie Schill actually leaving the studio here from the theater hour, going home to take a break, and then headed to the special election. So here on KVNU's airwaves and the news breaks or CacheValleyDaily.com this evening, we should have some results, I would guess, pretty early in the evening on this one. Again, this is a special election to find a replacement for outgone at this point, County Executive David Zook, who after 30 years in public service left for the private sector officially on Monday. And the person who wins the special election will fill out the remainder of his term and then have the option to be the de facto frontrunner for a race for a full term that will start next year. So 7 candidates. We've spoken with them all here on our show throughout the week, except for Mark Hurd, who was traveling for the Association of Counties meeting, an annual event that he was representing Cache County at all this week. We did get a chance to speak with him last night. I didn't push the buttons right in the studio, so some people wanting to tune in for Dave Ramsey instead heard me breathing into a microphone for about 12 minutes. and only my side of the conversation. So apologize to everyone who had to listen to that last night. But you can actually hear the full conversation between Mark Hurd and I coming up here in just a bit. And then Jamie Andrus, President and CEO of the Cache Chamber of Commerce, will be joining us. A monthly spotlight we do with Jamie on everything the Chamber is up to. And they have quite a bit going on between now and the end of October. So we'll try and talk about it all when she joins us in the latter half of the hour. Kicking things off here, it's 24 years since the events of September 11th, 2001. And like all things in history, the memory fades a bit, and the zeal to commemorate and memorialize the event fades a bit. Here in Utah, understandably, things 9/11 memorial-wise have very understandably taken a back seat to the tragic events at Utah Valley University yesterday with the assassination of political commentator and conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. There are more details out there. You heard not much, but some, and you heard them all from Will during the news break there. And we'll be talking more about this, I'm sure. But one bit of news to throw out there before we get into the 9/11 memorials. The vice president, as we understand it, is in Utah as we speak, J.D. Vance. His reason for coming, I assume this was maybe going to be an event, a vigil, and maybe there still will be one later tonight, but no announcement really has been made. What we do know is that he traveled here. He was a close personal friend of Charlie Kirk, and what we do know is he is traveling to Utah to join Kirk's wife and two children as they travel home. As you know, understandably, they're still here in Utah today, so they'll be traveling home this evening, and the vice president will be, for lack of a better word, escorting them. Is one of the reasons. Yeah, and traffic impacts in Salt Lake have been significant due to this. That's basically the latest. The investigation continues. Still no shooter in custody. FBI Director Kash Patel taking a lot of heat for that today online from the conservative side of Twitter after some tweets that kind of implied they had someone, and then quickly followed by, "Oh, sorry, we let that person go." So they're rushing to have more to say, but as of right now, not much more to report. So we'll keep you posted if we do hear more. There was a press conference planned. We thought maybe this would happen right now. Actually, that was scrapped. They canceled the press conference and instead put out a very short statement on the latest. And of course, there's video that is going around online and on some of the local news stations, I've seen reports of some video that they believe captures a very blurry, very distant image of what is likely the shooter on a rooftop. So I've linked to that on our Facebook page, some of the coverage of that. But again, little new concrete to report on that. So we'll keep an eye on it, of course. Our entire news team is watching this one. And if we learn more, we'll break in whenever that news comes and make sure you hear it here first. And, of course, CacheValleyDaily.com, read it there first. All right, 9/11. Like I say, understandably here in Utah, it's been a bit more of a muted Memorial Day for the September 11th, 2001 attacks here in Utah. Tragedy yesterday, again, understandably overshadowing it, despite the fact that nearly 3,000 people were killed on September 11th, 2001. Yesterday is much more fresh and in some ways, I think for Utahns especially, much more in our faces. We all, well, not we all, but most of us, I think, saw that video before we understood what actually took place yesterday. I know I did, and I wish I hadn't. The September 11th, 2001 attacks, not only are they 24 years old, but even as they played out, they were things that for most Utahns, except those who had the misfortune of being in the area at the time, were things we watched on TV. So yesterday, fresher and a little more in our faces. That said, September 11, 2001 is still being memorialized around the state in various ceremonies. I've linked to some here in Cache Valley. There will be a bit of an event tonight as part of the special election that the Cache GOP will host for this Cache executive race and more. And, of course, at this point, a few people need a rundown of all the details of what happened that day, the terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center and the subsequent toppling of those buildings, the death and devastation, the weeks and weeks of searching for survivors and cleanup. And, it is at Ground Zero in Lower Manhattan today. The names of the attack victims were read aloud by family and loved ones of those who died that day. And that ceremony was actually attended by Vice President J.D. Vance, or it was planned that he would attend that ceremony, and it changed the plans. He skipped that ceremony in order to travel here to Utah. But at that ceremony, there was a long moment of silence after the reading of the names, each one designated to mark the exact times when hijacked planes struck the World Trade Center's iconic Twin Towers. And at the Pentagon, service members and civilians who were killed or injured on that day were recognized at an internal ceremony, not a public ceremony. And then there was also a video of ceremony, or a video of a ceremony that took place out there in that rural field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, also marking a moment of silence and reading the names of those who perished as victims of Flight 93. So that's a rough recap of everything. Again, many events throughout Utah taking place today. Some recognition will happen tonight at the Cache GOP special election events at Ridgeline High School. And I just wanted to mark the occasion, mark the 24th anniversary of September 11th with this. This is just a brief minute and 50 seconds of video that was put together as a presentation for the 9/11 Memorial and Museum there in Manhattan, called The Stories They Tell. And this is an actual voicemail that was left by Brian David Sweeney, a passenger on Flight 175, who left a voicemail for his wife Julie that day when he realized he was likely not to survive, when he realized what was happening with the plane he was on, and he was likely not surprised. He picked up a in-seat handset and made a call to his home. His wife Julie wasn't at home. She was at work. And he left a voicemail, and this is the message that Julie came home to later that afternoon, September 11th, 2001, as well as her reaction to it.
Jules, this is Brian. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked, if things will go well, I'm looking good. I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good, go have a good time. Same to my parents and everybody. And I just totally love you, and I will see you later. Bye, Dave. I'll call you.
And you hold out this hope, especially for someone like Brian, who, this is a silly way to put it, but he was a warrior, and you just didn't believe that something like this could take him away. So you hold out this hope until it's validated somehow. And all I needed was that message. And I think he very selflessly left it. I don't think he left it until he knew that he wasn't coming home. When I got it, it was just so Brian, and it was his final request of me, and his final way to let me know that he was going to be okay, and that he believed that he'd see me again, and that's all I needed to know.
Again, that's just a portion of a video that tells the story, actually called The Stories They Tell, the stories of those who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001, in the focusing on those in the actual planes and the aftermath of the fall of the two towers afterwards. It's called The Stories They Tell. It's moving, to say the least, and it's the way I choose to memorialize the events of September 11th, 2001. So check it out. I've linked to it courtesy of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum website on our own Facebook page. And we'll be back. Check in with Mark Hurd, our final spotlight on candidates for the Cache County Executive Special Election happening tonight right after this.
News Talk 610 AM, 102.1 FM, KVNU.
Explore the wonders of Viking cruises with Morris Columbus Travel. Join us September 9th in Ogden and September 10th in Salt Lake City to discover all that Viking Cruises has to offer, including exclusive cruise savings. For tickets, call Morris Columbus Travel or visit morriscolumbus.com.
Come on and get away, Morris Columbus.
Hola, Cache Valley. Are you ready for the biggest fiesta of the year? The Latino Festival is taking over Center Street in Logan on Saturday, September 13th, and you're invited. Come celebrate with live music, colorful performers, traditional dancing, a festive parade, and of course, delicious food. Bring the whole family and experience the sights, sounds, and flavors that make the Latino culture so rich and beautiful. This year's Latino Festival is made possible by Connect Public Transit, connecting you with the people and places that matter most. Find your route at rideconnectutah.gov. Presto Products now hiring. Apply for a career today at Presto Products in Lewiston. Also by Anderson Seed and Garden and Logan Extermination, keeping you green during the summer and in the holiday spirit during the winter. Mark your calendar Saturday, September 13th on Center Street in Logan for this year's Latino Festival, where culture and community come together.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. We got to them all. Well, we will. Last night, I had a chance to speak with Mark Hurd, candidate for Cache County Executive, marking the 7th interview with 7 candidates, one of whom will be elected by delegates tonight in a special election to fill out the remainder of David Zook's term, and then will be the de facto frontrunner, if they choose to, run for re-election to a full term next spring. So this is an important thing that's happening tonight. Delegates and precinct officers and county central committee members will be the only ones able to vote, but it is open to the public, and things are getting underway in about an hour at Ridgeline High School, where that will take place if you want to go down. And again, we spoke this week with every single one of the candidates. I didn't know if we'd pull it off, including a chance to speak with the final candidate, Mark Hurd, current council member, traveling to the Utah Association of Counties meeting this week. That's why we got to him last, but we were able to finally connect last evening. And I asked Mark, as a starting question, what made you decide to run for county executive? Here's what Mark had to say. My pleasure.
Well, so, part of the reason I chose to get in is, obviously I'm a current member of the county council. I'm very engaged and interested in the continued good things that are going on at Cache County, and just want to see those things move forward and feel like, the firsthand experience or current involvement that I have helps me be ready to hit the ground running day one in the new in a new office, but kind of a same perspective as far as just what's in the best interest of the county and the residents here, and the local government needs that we need to ensure we're doing the best we can for everyone here. So.
And you're, as a candidate, you're coming at this with a very unique perspective in that, as you just mentioned, you've been kind of doing a lot of the work already. You probably more so than most of the other candidates have the best idea, I think, on an answer to this question, which is really an unfair question. But if you had to say that one thing was the biggest challenge for Cache County over the next 5-10 years, could you whittle it down to one? I know for me, my brain just defaults to growth. That's it. Because that encompasses water, roads, schools, all of this, right? But is there one issue that you think is most pressing?
Well, you're not wrong to jump right to growth because that is so encompassing. But I would say that for me, the biggest challenge is in the midst of that growth. Our challenge is to continue to maintain the community character that makes Cache Valley, Cache County, the place that experiences this growth, the place that we want to live in, the place that we want our families to be able to either stay in or return to. As growth comes, that brings change, but local government's, I think, biggest challenge is to balance the plan for growth and the plan for maintaining our community character. So those, I think that's probably the right answer from any candidate or from any perspective for local government, given that local governments have the land use authority because it gives the opportunity for community character to be a part of that discussion.
I appreciate that answer because, it really is a unique time for Cache County. I don't remember a time when there was so much, whether it be planning for our own future with open space, roads, things like that, or keeping an eye on the fact that that there is no easy way to say this, but the state is kind of breathing down our necks sometimes as well. How do you? Can we meet these challenges? It seems overwhelming at times.
Right. Well, it is a big job, and the interface between the county and the state is a very important role. The local government and counties in this context specifically being the political subdivision of the state. The state does set the rules, and then we, in a lot of ways, the counties have the autonomy to comply with those rules, with the state code in the unique ways that fits local government and the county delineations. But without the reverse communication or maybe bottom-up communication.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packard. The FBI releasing photos of a person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a campus event at Utah Valley University. It shows a young man wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a T-shirt that appear to have an American flag on it, and says ABC's Alex Stone.
Sources tell ABC News 3 unspent cartridges were found in the shooter's bolt-action rifle, and that they had wording on them expressing what some law enforcement officials described as transgender and anti-fascist ideology on them.
President Trump announcing he'll posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Across the country, several historically black colleges and universities went on lockdown following a series of threats, and the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, currently on lockdown out of, quote, an abundance of caution. 24 years after the September 11th attacks, memorial services today in New York and at the Pentagon. This is ABC News.
And some might argue that they're kind of late to the game on some fronts. I think they've done a great job on trails and outdoor rec personally over the last 20 years. But master plans are always evolving, and of course the county's working with multiple cities as well as the state and UDOT, so many different players on so many different faces. But have we done enough? Have we planned ahead enough?
That's a great question.
It's kind of an unfair question, really, but
yeah, we won't know until until the report card's in and the test's over, and then we realize what we needed to study in some cases, right? But I do feel like Cache County has been, say, proactive in the planning area for many fronts. Just like any organization, there's going to be areas for continuous improvement. That's not a negative. That's just, for me, that's a reality.
Sure. And that's something that, like you said, we won't have the answer until we get there. But we do know that the more planning we do, the cheaper it is, right? It's always cheaper to plan ahead than to play catch up. So,
right. Yeah, the cost of retrofitting or
right.
once the mistake is realized is significantly more. Obviously, with the executive role, the shift or the priority shifts or the focus of that job is different in that the council sets the policy, the executive's role is to carry it out. So, but we do have great committees and working groups, various boards and things where we collaborate with the executive's office will have a role or a voice in those conversations. But at the end of the day, the county council will set the policy. But in any opportunity I have, I will continue the priorities for office of ensuring that Cache County Sheriff's Office and the Attorney's Office have the adequate funding and resources we need to maintain law and order. This priority is, I believe, the base purpose for government, for local government, to ensure and protect our individual rights and the rights of the community. We continue to run into challenges there.
Sure.
We're experiencing a new chapter in the time-tested values that make our country great. We're only as good as our moral character as people, and we need to have the base services of government there to support and protect those principles and rights of individuals. So that being the top priority, the others goes in hand in hand with other fire and EMS services. We talked about planning and growth. So, but for this role particularly, I feel like primary effect or the biggest impact that the executive role can have for the county would just be a spirit of collaboration where we focus on working together, meaning all the stakeholders, which includes the county elected office officials, the constituents, staff, and appointed committee members, to bring a broad perspective to the issues and then seek a workable solution. And just remember, we're all trying to continuously move forward.
Again, Mark Hurd, our guest, candidate for Cache County Executive, current council member. Mark was nice enough to join us last night after the show. He's was traveling this week until today to the Utah Association of Counties meeting representing Cache County, and then we'll be on hand this evening for the special election. But we wanted to get to everyone. So with Mark's time, we officially did it. All 7 candidates have been with us here on the show this week. If you're a delegate still trying to decide how you're going to vote tonight, you can listen to each and every one via the podcast or directly in the on-demand section at kvnutalk.com. Thanks to Mark Hurd for helping us dot this I and cross this final T on all 7 candidates for county executive in the special election that is going to be playing out in just about an hour starting at least in just about an hour at Ridgeline High School, the Cache GOP special election. Thanks to our listeners as well. Stick around. We'll be back with more. And Jamie Andrus, CEO and president of the Cache Chamber of Commerce, talking about their Patriot Day golf tournament and more they have planned through the month of September and into October. That's next here after this look at the news with KVNU's Will Feel Right.
Well, thank you, Jason. Authorities say that the sniper who assassinated Charlie Kirk is believed to be college age and blended into the Utah Valley University campus after the shooting. During a press conference this morning, Utah Department of Public Safety Commissioner Bo Mason said that they have been able to track the suspect's movements through video that was from campus.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood.
Meanwhile, Utah Governor Spencer Cox called the killing a political assassination and a dark day for the state. Now, videos posted to social media showed Kirk speaking at the campus event yesterday when shots rang out. The footage shows blood gushing from the left side of his neck as stunned spectators screamed and ran for cover. Now, Mason earlier today said that law enforcement is reviewing that footage and analyzing it, trying to determine the suspect's identity.
We do have good video footage of this individual. We are not going to release that at this time. We are working through some technologies and some ways to identify this individual.
Now, screenshots from some of that video has been released, though, to the public. It shows the man seen wearing a black T-shirt, ball cap, and sunglasses. The FBI is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible. Meanwhile, the second annual Rocky Mountain Regional Homesteaders Conference and Fair will be returning to the American West Heritage Center in Wellsville tomorrow and Saturday. Now, it'll run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. The immersive event will offer attendees the chance to learn about how to beekeep, backyard chicken, and also garden, yogurt making, water purification, and animal processing. Now, general admission will include access to all the demonstrations with single and 2-day passes available. And a small earthquake was felt in eastern Utah yesterday. The quake happened about 5.7 miles from Vernal just before 4 o'clock, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. Now, so far, no reports of any damage or injuries have been reported. Well, we've seen a mix of sun and clouds today with temperatures in the high 70s, and tonight, well, drop into the low 50s and then be back into the high 70s for tomorrow. With a few more clouds, a possibility of an increased chance of some isolated showers and thunderstorms. And that forecast just going to pretty much continue to play out as we head into Saturday and Sunday. And weather this hour brought to you by Firehouse Subs, a great place for lunch or dinner. And also, of course, they bring you our Firehouse Subs Above and Beyond salute as we'll recognize another hero in our community coming up tomorrow. You can nominate somebody by going to our website, kvnutalk.com. And I'm Will Feelwright with your KVNU News headlines.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The FBI releasing photos of a person of interest in connection with the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a campus event at Utah Valley University. It shows a young man wearing a hat, sunglasses, and a T-shirt that appear to have an American flag on it. And says ABC's Alex Stone.
Sources tell ABC News 3 unspent cartridges were found in the shooter's bolt-action rifle and that they had wording on them expressing what some law enforcement officials described as transgender and anti-fascist ideology on them.
President Trump announcing he'll posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Across the country, several historically black colleges and universities went on lockdown following a series of threats, and the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, currently on lockdown out of, quote, an abundance of caution. 24 years after the September 11th attacks, memorial services today in New York and at the Pentagon. This is ABC News.
Today's hearing aid technology can improve not only your life, but the lives of the people who care about you. Once again, you'll be able to hear the reason for their laughter and understand conversations. Dr. Paul Danes at Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology will customize a hearing improvement program to meet your unique requirements, whatever they are. Call Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology for an appointment and let them show you how.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Join in the fun Saturday, September 27th for the 3rd annual Center Street Giant Pumpkin Festival. This family fun event will run from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on historic Center Street in Logan. This is an all-day fall celebration with Center Street coming to life with live music, food, art, children's activities, and lots of giant pumpkins on display as they fight for the title of Center Street Giant. For more info, go to centerstreetgiant.com or call 752-2345. Sponsored by Cache Valley Bank and Anderson Seed and Garden.
Meet me downtown. Meet me in downtown Logan.
Hi, this is Andy Hernandez, partner at Jones Simpkins, Certified Public Accountants. Meet us in downtown Logan on Saturday, September 20th for the Cytiva Top of Utah Marathon. Jones Simpkins is proud to be an official race partner of the Cytiva Top of Utah Marathon and hope you will join us in downtown Logan for this fun event on Saturday, September 20th. Find out more at topofutahmarathon.com.
Meet me downtown. Meet me in downtown Logan.
How do you picture the golden years of life? Does it involve meaningful activities with family and friends? Maybe a field trip to some local sites with fun activities and social opportunities. Homemade meals, so you don't have to go to the grocery store. If you picture the golden years as some of your best years, may I suggest you see what Legacy House of Logan has to offer.
At Legacy House of Logan, we know how to take care of your loved ones, and it shows in every detail. Legacy House of Logan, your life just a little easier.
Welcome back to KVN News for the People. Joining us now, President and CEO of the Cache Chamber of Commerce, Jamie Andrus, and I'm really excited for this interview, our chance once a month to check in on the Chamber of Commerce and everything that Jamie and crew have going on. And it's hard for me not to jump right to it, but I'm really excited, Jamie, to talk about the upcoming leadership luncheon next week, because this is an individual that I didn't plan this, but I was actually reading about this guy in a national magazine regarding some health policy debates that are going to be coming up at the federal level. And he is the guest speaker at the leadership luncheon next week. But I'm jumping ahead of us here. I know, Jamie, you want to talk first about tomorrow's big event, right?
Yes. It's so great to talk to you, Jason. Tomorrow is our Patriot Day Invitational. This is our annual golf tournament that we do on or around as close as we can to 9/11 to September 11th, Patriot Day. And we always choose a veteran organization to make a sizable donation with the proceeds from our golf tournament. And we are excited that it is taking place tomorrow. We've got a whole slew of teams. Every hole is going to have a host sponsor.
Oh, nice.
A special welcome flag ceremony in the morning. And our benefactor this year is now I've just lost my mind here. Just one second. The Project Valor, and we're very excited to have them give our flag, perform our flag ceremony for us in the morning, and we'll have a special welcome from County Council Chair Sandy Goodlander.
That is very nice. I know this is a very popular annual event, and registration fills up pretty quickly. But you also, I know, Jamie, get a lot of community support for this. If I leave any out, let me know. But I'm seeing here a bunch of different sponsors for the event this year. And again, for listeners, the Chamber does this every year, and the proceeds go to benefit different veterans group. As Jamie mentioned, Project Valor, the recipients this year. But you've got Assisting Hands Home Care, JBS, Serve Pro, Regents, Minky Coacher. Did I leave any sponsors out?
Oh, there's a sponsor on every one of the holes.
That is so cool.
So that's 18.
Oh, I see him here.
But,
I do see we have Charlie's Ice Cream, American,
yes,
Anderson Seed and Garden. You can see the whole list at cashchamber.com, but that's pretty cool to find. So that many businesses in Cache Valley stepped up to support you on this.
Exactly.
That is really cool.
We have a wonderful breakfast, our lunch, the food. We have a sponsor, but the food is also provided by JBS. We're just so happy to enjoy this day, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be cool in the morning.
Yeah, good weather.
It's not going to be too hot. The weather's going to be great.
That's right.
Welcome everyone who's joining us. We're excited.
That is very cool. And of course, for listeners out there, this is also open for those who just want to go watch. It can be a fun time. And, of course, if you want to support the ongoing work of the Chamber on this or the Project Valor project as well, you can make a direct donation. Cashchamber.com, more information on that. The 2025 Patriot Day Golf Invitational, an annual event the Chamber hosts each year to fundraise for local veteran organizations around the anniversary of September 11th each year. And Jamie, I know you have a lot going on, but I have to mention this because it is so funny. I was just reading an article about an upcoming federal health care policy debate because I'm a political nerd, And mentioned in this article several times was a man who had helped to inform some of our federal delegation from here in Utah, a man named Mike Woodruff, Executive Medical Director for Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield here in Utah. And he's known as kind of being, he's an ER doc, but he's also serving as Executive Director. And he's known as being this data-driven guy who's made a focus on improving patient experiences, but using data to figure out what's decreasing a patient's experience, whether it's long-term or short-term stay. And I was reading about that, and then I happened to notice today in prep for this interview, he's your guest speaker next week at the Leadership Luncheon.
Yes, and we're very excited to have him. He was unable to come last year. We had him scheduled for one of our leadership lunches. And we like to do a healthcare focus sometime during the September, October, sometimes November timeframe, because that's when a lot of companies are getting ready and looking at their health care. This is an open enrollment. What are we providing for our workforce? So this is critical. He's going to be answering, as you mentioned, some really important questions, and we are always happy to have Regents Blue Cross involved in our chamber. We're very thrilled to have him come. So that's next Tuesday at the Country Club, and it is not too late to register. Anyone can come. We have a member, non-member price, but you'll want to get registered online or give us a call. We'll get you into that on Tuesday.
Very nice. Cashchamber.com, you can see contact information, registration information for this and every event they have listed here. I joke about it every time we speak, Jamie, but the Chamber's web calendar always cracks me up because I load it thinking, okay, what are we going to talk about today as Jamie joins us? And then I realize, well, we'll never get to all of this. Because it's a full calendar each month.
It is.
But we should
We're excited. Yeah, we're
a lot of work goes into
week.
this.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It does. And we do a lot of really, I think, meaningful events that provide really good data and information for all types of businesses, large and small, and the general public as well.
Sure. That is, it's a good reminder for listeners. You don't have to be a chamber member to join. It's oftentimes cheaper to register for these events if you're already a member, and there are some member-exclusive events that happen each month as well. But a lot of these events are open to the general public, and you can register. The Leadership Luncheon events, it's good food and good information every month, so be sure to check those out. But Jamie, we should at least mention this as well, and I'm sure we'll talk in more detail about this next month before it happens, but you've got the 4th annual Northern Utah Manufacturing Excellence Conference coming up, and manufacturing has been in the news a lot recently here in Utah and nationwide. This is a huge event that draws a bigger crowd each year, right?
That's correct, and boy, do we have a terrific lineup. And this will be October the 1st, so we may not talk again before
That's right.
then.
I'm glad we'll spend some time on this now then. That's
yes,
right. We may not.
I was just reviewing the lineup today. We work with the Utah MEP on this event, and we have Mel Torrey coming from Autonomous Solutions as our keynote speaker.
Oh, wow.
In the morning, we'll have Michael Jean Fro, our state economist, giving us some very specific updated data on manufacturing. And we're going to be joined by the Lieutenant Governor. She'll be Deidre Henderson. She'll be joining us and addressing us at the lunchtime. Then there's 2 sets of breakout sessions, everything that a manufacturer really, and a lot of other businesses as well. This is important. So if you are a small manufacturer, a medium manufacturer, you work with manufacturers, you serve that segment of the business sector, please join us. It's very affordable, and it's going to be a terrific day. And your registration includes tours on the second day, Thursday afterwards. So you should check that out. That's really exciting.
This is, again, this is a huge conference, and with manufacturing jobs in the news, both nationally and here in Utah, this has quickly become one of the go-tos that I know policymakers and others are looking at just to keep abreast of what's happening, but running straight through our own Chamber of Commerce, working with other chambers of commerce around northern Utah. Again, 4th Annual Northern Utah Manufacturing Excellence Conference coming up October 1st, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., and this will happen at the Cache County Event Center. It is cheap. In fact, if you register early, it's cheaper by $30.
Yes. And actually, this year it goes till 3 o'clock.
Oh, until 3.
And it is at our county event center, yes.
Very nice.
And the tours on day 2 are first come, first served. They're obviously limited. We can't take hundreds of people through, but one of our local tour is Campbell Scientific.
Oh, wow.
And then there's an opportunity to see some businesses in Boxelder and also Weber County.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That is, Campbell Scientific alone is worth the price of admission. That is.
Yes, they're getting ready to open their new building, and there's going to be a ribbon cutting in a couple of weeks. So we're very excited to celebrate with them.
Good timing. This is, again, just a snapshot of everything the Cache Chamber has going on. Jamie Andrus, CEO and President, our guest here, and Jamie and crew put together a full lineup for members and non-members as well each month. Again, some events are member exclusives. Every event is cheaper if you're already a member of the chamber. But even if you're not, you're welcome to be a part of this and encouraged to. And as Jamie mentioned, this is for every business size. A lot of people say, or believe this is for larger, more established business. No, this is for garage startup businesses as well. It's
exactly
great resources that are offered there. And Jamie, always a pleasure to have you join us. I'll see you at the manufacturing conference. I'm going to check it out in person this year. And thank you for making some time for KVNU again.
You're very welcome.
Our pleasure to have you join us. And for listeners, again, more information on tomorrow's Patriot Day Golf Tournament, the 4th Annual Northern Utah Manufacturing Excellence Conference, the leadership luncheons, all of that at cachechamber.com. And we'll be back with more of For the People right after this.
Hola, Cache Valley. Are you ready for the biggest fiesta of the year? The Latino Festival is taking over Center Street in Logan on Saturday, September 13th, and you're invited. Come celebrate with live music, colorful performers, traditional dancing, a festive parade, and of course, delicious food. Bring the whole family and experience the sights, sounds, and flavors that make the Latino culture so rich and beautiful. This year's Latino Festival is made possible by Gosner Foods. From fresh cheese curds and aged cheddar to creamy chocolate milk and ice cream, stock up on all your dairy favorites at Gosner Foods retail store on 10th West. Members First Credit Union, large enough to provide the services you need, small enough to provide the service you deserve. Members First Credit Union. Also by Presto Products, now hiring. Apply for a career today at Presto Products in Lewiston. Mark your calendar Saturday, September 13th on Center Street in Logan for this year's Latino Festival, where culture and community come together.
We're here with Chuck, founder of Dollar Loan Center. You always tell me it's worth the drive. What do you mean by that?
We charge so much less than payday or title lenders, and unlike banks, we actually lend money. Our locations are really nice, Craig. No bulletproof glass, plastic furniture joints. They're like the banks used to be. Clean, fun, great tunes on, and real live staff who love to help. And if you don't want to stop in, you can complete your whole application on your couch via your fancy smartphone. But we sure would like to meet you in person and tell you all about Dollar Loan Center and how we can help you get more money for less money.
DLC lends up to $5,000 in minutes, and you can get your cash in person at one of our 70 locations, on our website, don'tbebroke.com, or even over the phone with one of our helpful, real staff members. You're gonna love Dollar Loan Center.
Licensed by the Utah Department of Financial Institutions. Subject to approval. Limitations may apply. See website for details.
Due to popular demand, Caravel Select has extended its Labor Day parking lot clearance sale. They still have many items to choose from as they clear space and pass the savings on to you. Over 100 pallets of luxury waterproof SPC flooring in 10 colors, priced to move, starting at just $275 a square foot. They've also got dozens of 2- and 4-door vanities with 2, 3, and 4 drawers priced to clear. And take a walk through their countertop stone gallery. Caravel Select's parking lot clearance sale on 14th North in Logan, west of DI. Online at caravelselect.com.
Join in the fun Saturday, September 27th for the 3rd annual Center Street Giant Pumpkin Festival. This family fun event will run from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on historic Center Street in Logan. This is an all-day fall celebration with Center Street coming to life with live music, food, art, children's activities, and lots of giant pumpkins on display as they fight for the title of Center Street Giant. For more info, go to centerstreetgiant.com or call 752-2345. Sponsored by Cache Valley Bank and Anderson Seed and Garden.
A new era has begun in Logan, Utah.
My team is tough. They're resilient. They've embraced the expectations. And again, the cultural part to me is first.
Head coach Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies look to make some noise in the Mountain West.
Touchdown, Utah State!
Join us Saturday. Utah State hosts Air Force.
KVNU's game day pregame show begins at 5:45 with kickoff at 7:45 and postgame and Aggie call immediately after on News Talk KVNU, the heritage home of the Aggies.
Welcome back to KVNU's For the People. Thanks to Jamie Andrus and Mark Hurd before her for joining us in the second hour of the show today. Special election for county executive getting underway, well, kind of as we speak at Ridgeline High School. Delegates, central committee members, and party officers for the Cache GOP will, precinct officers rather, for the Cache GOP will vote tonight on someone to, out of 7 candidates, someone to replace David Zook, who, as of Monday, officially left his spot, leaving after 30 years in public service, moving to the private sector. A bit earlier than expected, meaning there's a special election, and then whoever wins the special election tonight will fill out the remainder of Zook's term until the end of the year and then be the de facto frontrunner if they choose to run for re-election next year for a full term. It's an important time in Cache County, so everyone's paying attention to this, and we'll talk about the results tomorrow on the program, as well as the For the People movie show.